Welcome to Global Connections, our groundbreaking TV magazine show. It is all about international relations. My name is Elizabeth Mbambi, and here are our Global Connections. On the 14th of September 2023, the University of Namibia celebrated their International Day. This day was attended by delegates from different embassies under the theme, Open Your Minds to Global Opportunities. Let's have a look.
We would like to encourage our students, doesn't matter where they come from, to really take advantage of the opportunities that the embassies are providing in their countries. It is important for me to highlight that UNAM has more than 265 partnership agreements with universities in Africa, in Asia, in Europe, and in North and South America. 713 international students from 38 countries across the world are currently studying at UNAM, and a further 215 of our academic staff members, which represents approximately 10% of UNAM staff, are international. We would like to increase this number to about 17 to 20%. Therefore, we appeal to you, ambassadors, your excellencies, to support us in getting those experts to come and work at this institution, especially in areas of international law, in areas of medicine, dentistry, veterinary medicine, and engineering. The international partnerships and networks have contributed to our success in facilitating staff and student mobility. In 2023, for example, we have 65 UNAM staff members and 38 students who have gone abroad on exchange programs. The university is a member, amongst others, of the Association of African Universities, Association of Commonwealth Universities, the Regional Universities Forum for Capacity Building in Agriculture, the Southern African Regional Universities Association, and the Scientific Committee on Ocean Research, amongst others. Through the membership in these organizations, we are able to jointly influence policy and make strategic decisions that are informing our governments on policy directives to take as far as the relevance and quality of policy and training. We are also proud as a young institution that the University of Namibia is the only Namibian university so far to be co-ranked amongst the 16 top 100 universities in Africa. We This is a major achievement in that we are also ranked amongst the top 800 universities globally. If you think that there are more than 30,000 universities globally and we're in the top 800, that is a big achievement. The ranking put us in this category, or in the group category where other universities belong, such as the University of Johannesburg, Northwest University, University of Western Cape, Eduardo Mondlane University in Mozambique, and the University of Nairobi. Our international student numbers, I regret to say, has dropped very significantly, especially during COVID times. We would like these numbers to be increased significantly. We have decided, and I can say this here, we have decided as executive members that we will be, from next year onwards, be reserving accommodation in our hostels for international students. So we would like to appeal to you, ambassadors, to please encourage your nationals to come and study with us. I would like to assure you, Your Excellencies, that the University will continue to collaborate with your embassies in our quest to produce all-rounded graduates graduates with the requisite skills and attributes that are suitable for functioning in the fourth industrial revolution and also to be globally competitive. In conclusion, I would also like to say that we have taken the position that languages are not a barrier. Languages are bridges for which we should encourage globalization and global citizenships. For this reason, the University of Namibia offers training in Portuguese, in Spanish, in Mandarin, in French, in German, and we would like to add to that other languages that we can train in. With this, in conclusion, allow me also to say we especially want to thank the French and the Chinese embassies for working with our students to always ensure that they are exhibiting and participating in intercultural events that take place in the country. It is through the connections that our people create that we can have a better world. Allow me to express our sincere gratitude for the support that we have been receiving from your governments and your embassies, as well as the universities that work with us to promote mutual beneficial relations in achieving the objectives that the Namibian government has set for this university. With this, I would like to say enjoy this day and let us do it even much bigger next time. I thank you so much.
We are also very happy that the various language sections of the university are also exhibiting and telling us about the opportunities that are available. As a multicultural, multilinguistic society, knowing other languages are so critical. And students, please take advantage of this opportunity. Once again, special welcome to everyone, especially to our ambassadors and high commissioners and representatives of the various.
On the 10th of August 2023, there was a handing over ceremony that took place at the Ministry of International Relations and Cooperation. This ceremony was about the Brazilian government handing over funds to the Namibian government. Let's have a look.
What began in 2019 as a humanitarian action in response to a request from the Namibian government evolved to a second donation of financial resources in 2020, used to fund 5 community-based food system projects aimed at helping marginalized communities to fight hunger and malnutrition, improve their diets, build resilience against recurrent events such as droughts or floods, and promote local food value chains and job opportunities. I want to thank the World Food Programme for their invaluable support and technical assistance, without which we would not be able to carry out these activities in Namibia. The third donation in 2023 that we acknowledge today is a token of the Brazilian commitment to continue supporting Namibia in the fight against food insecurity through transformative actions. From a broader perspective, it is also a demonstration of the willingness of the Brazilian government to renew our ties with the African continent through a strengthened cooperation strategy. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, last July, a delegation headed by the General Coordination for Humanitarian Cooperation of the Brazilian Agency of Cooperation, ABC, came to Namibia. They visited Trunke and the Paco Clinic in Gobabis, where 2 community-based food system projects are being implemented by the World Food Programme with Brazilian financial support. We also had very productive meetings at MIRCO and the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform with various stakeholders, during which information about the Brazilian South-South cooperation was shared and areas for further action were discussed. The delegation agencies and programs in cooperation projects in order to address the cross-cutting nature of the fight against poverty and to deliver as one. Let me assure you, Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, that the ABC delegation was positively impressed with what they saw during their field visits and meetings. They left Namibia already planning the next steps. A follow-up visit should take place this year in order to bring a team of experts who will look into areas where the Namibian government wishes to receive technical assistance from Brazil. Allow me to briefly remind in this context the principles that rule the Brazilian Cooperation Agency activities. First of all, the South-South cooperation provided by ABC is demand-driven. It is up to the country which seeks technical assistance to specify its needs. We do not impose areas or projects on the beneficiary. Second, our cooperation is mainly aimed at training, capacity building, and transfer of knowledge, so that the communities involved are empowered and can subsequently replicate what they learned. Lastly, we regard cooperation as a win-win process, whereby we share with others our experience, techniques, and best practices, but we also learn from them in the process. We do not impose our views. To conclude, Honorable Deputy Prime Minister and Minister Schleckwein, I would like to thank you for opening space in your busy agenda to participate in this ceremony, and I wish to reiterate our commitment to enhance, strengthen, and diversify our portfolio of bilateral and multilateral cooperation, thus reinforcing even more our excellent relations. Thank you.
I would really like to extend our sincere appreciation to the good relationship that is existing and continue to be strengthened between Namibia and Brazil. In the same vein, I sincerely want to appreciate the good collaboration between Brazil and the World Food Programme in as far as implementing programs focusing on food system. We are all members of the United Nations, and we have all subscribed to the SDG, which are coming to an end in 2030. And one of the SDG that we are paying special attention is SDG 2, which is zero hunger. And it's on this base that we really appreciate to discover Brazil, who has agreed to collaborate with us in the realization of this specific SDG. Because Brazil, we know, is that country that has managed within a few years to switch from being a net importer of food to a net exporter of food. And we really believe that through this collaboration, Namibia will benefit a lot from Brazil, so that we will also move from being a net importer of food to be a net exporter of food. I strongly believe that we can do that, and I think Namibians will testify that agriculture is one sector which is very closer to my heart, as I strongly believe that with agriculture we will be able to solve many of the challenges that we are facing in our country, starting with food insecurity as well as employment, because agriculture has a potential to create jobs to so many. Is to start with, agriculture has space for both unskilled, semi-skilled, as well as professionals in terms of job creation. I have even come to know that when you talk about agriculture, you are basically talking about a faculty at the university, because you need all the expertise that will make your agricultural production to be sustainable and to address the challenge of the citizens. Therefore, we are very grateful for continuously learning from Brazil and also from the programs of the World Food Program. It's true, at the beginning, the World Food Program was more making handouts, and in the interim, we realized that that is not going to help us. So we believe on the say that instead of giving the fish, you should teach the person how to fish, and then they can be feeding themselves. So therefore, all the programs now, which are run by the World Food Program, they are aimed to empower the community. And we really appreciate that the programs that are also supported by Brazil, they are focusing in the same area. And we are really looking forward to creating a situation whereby we will have a value addition to our agricultural production. That will then be able to assist our people to be self-reliant and to produce food themselves as well as to process them. Namibia was honored, as you have mentioned, Your Excellency Ambassador, by the visit of the Brazilian Cooperative Agency that visited Namibia recently, and they visited the World Food Program's Integrated Community System Food Project. You mentioned Tungwe, my favorite one, I have to say, and the one in Hobabes. I was happy when one time we visited Tungwe, and your predecessor was also part of our delegation, together with the African ambassadors, because it's one of the projects that Brazil is also supporting, in addition to others which are being supported through this collaboration between the World Food Program and the Brazilian government. So we really appreciate, and I was happy to learn today when you say they are going to be back this year. We are really looking forward for them to come back. I'm sure that our Ministry of Agriculture is taking this cooperation very seriously, because we would also want to make sure that by the year 2030, we have moved a step forward in as far as food security is concerned. And I'm saying this because it's not because of the SDG of the United Nations, but 2030, we are also concluding our Vision 2030, which is coming to an end. And one of the focus of our Vision 2030 is food security, which our founding president, in launching the Vision 2030, he made it very clear to us that a country which cannot feed itself will not be respected. And Namibia, we have set ourselves to say that by the year 2030, we must be able to feed ourselves. And Your Excellency Ambassador, based on this, I would really want to see a continuous collaboration between this program and the Ministry of Agriculture, because we cannot fail our Vision 2030 as well as the SDG. And if we make a breakthrough in this particular sector, it will really go a long way in assisting other areas where we might be lagging behind. For example, if we are able to make sure that our children, when they are going to school, they are well fed, their mental capacity has been also improved, and they will be able to perform better in schools. And everything you do, when you know that you are self-sufficient in terms of food, you will be performing better. So we are considering that particular SDG goal is very critical. We have to make sure that we work very hard to elevate poverty, or to elevate poverty, or even to get poverty out, because you cannot measure poverty and you don't want people to be in poverty. And that can be done when we increase our food production and to ensure that all the programs that we are having, we are able to sustain them. Once again, I want to thank this collaboration between the Brazilian government and the World Food Program, as well as ourselves. And the donation that we are going to receive today, I want to assure you, Your Excellency Ambassador, that is going to be put on good use. Up to now, the figure is not mentioned, but I was reliably informed that the donation that we are receiving today is at the tune of US dollar 120,000. I hope I'm correct. So it's US dollar 120,000, which is aimed to support food security in Namibia. And this is in addition to other donations that have been done before. And we are really looking forward to utilize this efficiently, effectively, and to be used for intended purpose. And to make sure that by the year 2030, Honorable Minister, Namibia must be self-sufficient in terms of food. We have 7 years to go, and I'm sure with good programs and people pulling in the same direction, if I have to quote our president, there is nothing really that can prevent us to realize this goal. And I'm encouraged by seeing so many Namibians who are getting involved in agriculture, particularly the young people, because they also realize now that through agricultural production, our young people will be able to create the necessary jobs that we need in this country. So once again, our thanks to the government of Brazil and the World Food Program, who are our reliable partners, and to make sure that food security is realized in Namibia. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
May we ask that the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Mr. Fred to join?
I want to cover this. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
They are all official cameras.
I just want to hand over to the Deputy Prime Minister a small gift. This is a book published by last year when we celebrated 200 years of independence, and it's the Brazilian diplomatic history. And it's translated into English and has the whole history of our diplomatic activities. I hope you enjoy it, and taking into account also that we recently opened the School of Diplomatic Studies, with which we're willing to cooperate soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So we're definitely looking for partners to cooperate with us in developing our School of Diplomacy. Absolutely. We are linked to the University of Namibia. Absolutely. So Brazil will be one of our partners. Thank you very much. Thank you.